Okay, welcome to Christine's Kitchen. Today I'm doing a specialty. It's called Pergorgi. And yes, I made up the name. So basically my mother-in-law, she had gotten this, she had learned how to make bulgogi, and that might even be the wrong way to pronounce it, but it's Korean flank steak marinated. And a lot of times they bake it in the oven over there. Well, I've kind of converted this into my own recipe. I never knew it was called bulgogi. I thought that the Korean name was Pergorgi, but that's like what we created the name, our family did, because it's just kind of my interpretation of what was being said and I didn't understand the verbiage. So Christine's version of bulgogi is Pergorgi, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So we're going to start with sesame oil. We're going to get 3/4 of a cup of sesame oil. Now I keep this in the refrigerator because I buy it in a big thing at the Asian store, and then it doesn't go bad. It doesn't go rancid. And I also like to put everything in the same mixing bowl so I'm not getting mixing or measuring cups dirty. So I'm going to just pour in 3/4, and it's kind of coddled a little bit because of it being in the refrigerator. But I'm going to put in 3/4 of a cup of sesame oil, okay? And then I'm going to go up, watch my measuring, and I'm going to put in a cup of soy sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and pour until I'm at a cup of soy sauce, which just happens to be exactly correct and how much I have left. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, or excuse me, this is just plain garlic because the soy sauce is very salty, and I did use less sodium, trying to avoid so much salt, but I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of dry garlic in there, and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, okay, with 1/4 cup of sugar, okay. And I'm going to use my whisk and kind of mix that together. So this is the marinade for the flank steak. And we're going to let it marinate in this liquid for at least 2 hours. I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to show you the green onions. So in this, typically in all my recipes, I don't use the white part of the green onion because it's too strong. But in this recipe, we want to have a little bit more strength of onion. So I've taken a full green onion and I've chopped it up. Now this is the section between the white part and the green part. So I don't want to use these. These are a little bit too strong. So I've cut out that, and then I've come in and I've minced the white head of the onion a lot, and then I've just finely cut the rest of the green stems here. This is 3 green onions. So you want about a 1/2 cup of green onions and just a little bit of that onion, the whiteness. And again, I've chopped it pretty fine because I want it to stick to the meat. I don't want it to fall off the meat. And we're going to be grilling this, and so I don't like it to fall into the grill either. I like it to try and hang on to the meat as much as possible. So I'm going to put that in to my mixture. Then I also, we put in toasted sesame seeds, okay? And we have the sesame oil, which gives it that nice sesame oil flavor. But we're also going to put in the seeds, and I have toasted those. Let me get those out of the toaster. Oh, they're perfect. So in the toaster oven, I just put them on some foil, and I've toasted them till they're light brown. Then I'm going to fold this over to kind of make a seal with the foil, and I'm going to crack those so that seed opens up, the oils come out, and then it can also take in the oils of the meat and everything, so those sesame seeds are releasing their flavors and it's all combining. So I'm going to take my rolling pin inside of this foil, and I'm cracking these sesame seeds inside, okay? You probably can't hear them cracking, but I can sure smell it. The smell is just really coming up of the nice cracked sesame seeds that are toasted. That's a really yummy toasted sesame seed. There's 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds in this. Oh, that is so fragrant. It's really good. Okay, so then I'm gonna mix that in. These are trash because they're too strong. And we have a nice marinade there, okay? Now we're going to prep the, meat. Now, on the meat, it's really important that you use flank steak, okay? Not strip steak. There's a difference. The flank steak has a better flavor to it, and at Costco, it comes in a package of 2 pieces like this. And you can see that the grain of the meat is running this direction. So we're gonna cut the opposite of the grain, and we're going to cut it into strips that are about, I'd say about 3/8 of an inch wide. So this first piece, we're gonna cut it a little bit, a little bit bigger because that's just a baby piece, okay? But the next one, we're gonna cut it in about this thick. So now we have a nice strip of steak that will marinate and then we'll grill it, okay? So I'm just gonna be going along here and cutting these strips. And I have sharpened my knife so that it's really sharp in order to cut through that meat really well. In the flank steak, you will see a rib of fat that comes through. That's okay. When you go to eat it, you may not eat that fat line because it's a little bit tough, but this is a beautiful flank steak. Again, they're just small pieces, and I'm only cutting this about 1/4 to 1/8 or 3/8 inch thick. Once you get to the thicker part of the meat, it's going to be, I'll get over here because I'm not going to cut this whole thing in front of you. But it's going to see how that looks there. It's a lot fatter, and that's where that width comes in. You still only have 3/8 on the cut, but you have a nice piece of flank steak. And then once you've got both steaks cut into strips, you're going to put them into the marinade, and we're going to stir it around really good, and we're going to leave that for 2 hours. And then you're going to get your grill pretty hot, and like probably around 400, and you're basically searing the steak on the outside, and the sugar in the mixture kind of caramelizes the outside of the steak. So you can have it rare on the inside, because again, this is a steak. You can have it rare on the inside and caramelized with this marinade on the outside. And hopefully these little sesame seeds and the onions have attached itself enough to the meat that it's going to catch those, and it's going to be there as well. Some people like to put foil down. I say some people that grill at my house, they like to put foil down so it doesn't make the grill messy, because it does make it pretty messy. But I really like that flame hitting the meat and caramelizing the sugar around the meat. So anyways, great fun summer grill dish that has just really a great flavor. We like to eat it with sticky rice, watermelon. A lot of times we'll make the ceviche to go along with it. You know, all your summer fun foods. This is a great grilling meat and a great marinade for it. So I hope you enjoy it. You can go out to christineskitchen.info, which takes you to my real estate website. Go to Christine's Kitchen and we'll get that recipe put out there for you. Thanks for watching.